one. This here trampoline, as you can see, has survived the Australian bushfires back in 2019 and 2020. Even though the mat has completely melted, the frame and the springs are in great condition. So as always, let's rig it up. So this isn't the final idea. I'm just basically seeing how many springs I need to use, seeing if it's enough to reach the diameter of the wheel and if it's got enough spring. As you can see, it looks like it's going to work pretty well. Comment below what you think I should have done instead of the original plan. And I also need help. I need you to comment below ideas for my channel, things I can make out here in the forest. The possibilities are pretty much endless, so you guys let me know in the comments below. Originally there was only 2 springs going to the top, but I've basically put a third one in. I've separated the 2 on the side. I put a third one, so now there's 5, just because with gravity, the wheel's already pushing down the top springs, which means they're already a little bit more sprung than the bottom ones. So putting the third one in at the top should help it balance out a bit. Have you ever been on a trampoline and someone really heavy jumps on and the springs go flying? That's exactly what I don't want to happen here. So, to lock the springs together better like a chain, all I'm going to do is basically grab some pliers and crush just like that. Because it's so cold, I think the metal is quite brittle, so I might snap a few of them, but I need to curl those hooks over so that they stay together. Well, with the springs all hooked over a little bit more, it's time for our first test. Now, I don't think this is going to be very successful as far as distance goes. That's because I'm going to be the one pulling it back, but later we might get a car to pull it back. Probably only went about maybe 6-7 meters, which isn't too bad considering that was just me pulling it back. So let's make this even better. As you just saw, after the springs were shot out, There was a lot of recoil. This thing was bouncing backwards and forwards. There was nothing to absorb the inertia of the springs going backwards and forwards, right? Now, having some sort of stopping mechanism will actually help to have more of a jolted launch and hopefully send whatever I'm shooting a little bit further. I've got this line loosely hooked up to the good old faithful tractor, putting it to good use after, who knows, maybe 80 years. So the reason it's loosely set is so that it still gives this launcher a little bit of spring, but doesn't go too far to the point where it keeps bouncing backwards and forwards. Let's give it a first test shot. Looks like I'm gonna need some bigger rope. So far, pretty unsuccessful considering I've only managed to get, for example, this rock here, 15 feet. So I've launched at 15 feet, but I have a goal of getting it 50 feet, which is all the way out to these logs here on the ground. If I can rig this launcher up a little bit more to make it launch 50 feet, then I'll successfully achieve my goal. I can gradually increase the pressure by using a ratchet strap. So right now it's under load. I've hooked it up to the good old tractor via a D-shackle chain, and it's got some tension on there, which is tied to the existing rope, which is tied to that. I've just got a rock sitting up there so we can see how that goes. But the good thing about this is I can tighten this up so it pulls it closer and closer, gradually getting more tension. And then when I want to release, it literally says release on there. Got to be careful with my fingers here. Well, after spending hours, I'm finally onto something. I've trialed and errored lots of different ways of getting this thing to launch, and I think we're finally onto something. So I've gone ahead and changed out that yogurt container for something more sturdy, thicker plastic. It's actually out of the buggy over there. So this is a lot better. It holds objects like this big rock. I've made sure I've bolted it in there as well so it's not moving too much. I've changed out the rope with a strap, and in order to get the car hooked up, I've basically used this snatch block, which acts as a pivot point, which then goes to this seat belt, which I also got from the buggy. Plugs into here. If I pull this slightly, like that. So now, as you can see, we have a system that plugs into there, comes through here, all the way to our launch point. Having the car hooked up means I've got a lot more strength, a lot more power to pull it back and hopefully launch it at 50 feet. I was struggling for a very long time to work out a way to have a quick release. This seatbelt here has an easy release just by pressing that button, and it allows it to launch. Ready, come here. Here, come here. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. See how far it went, eh? How far did we go, Birdie? Looks like we almost got there. I'd say, what, 40 feet? Not too bad. Let's go further. Go, Birdie. 3, 2, 1. Three, two, one. Well, as you can see, it broke, unfortunately. Well, didn't break, it's just the springs came loose, which is an easy fix. But I'm happy to announce that it made it past 50 feet. Well past 50 feet, actually. I reckon we're probably exceeding 55 feet, which is a decent launch. Well guys, as you can see with what I had, it wasn't too bad. Stay tuned, there will be a part 2 to this. I'm gonna make this thing a little stronger, launch some heavier things, hopefully even maybe get up to 100 feet. Don't forget to comment guys, other ideas you have for my channel, like this video, and I'll catch you next time.